Okay, let's unpack this. We've got a fascinating but incredibly dense stack of source material in front of us.
Hmm.
We have technical architecture blueprints, mixed right in with this deep linguistic, almost theological analysis of the Quran.
It's a heady mix. But the central claim, the thing that runs through all of it, is that nothing is arbitrary. Nothing is random.
Right. They call it a Nafs-centric universe. And the hook, the real hook here is that we're all inside what they term a customized learning simulation.
Exactly. And the purpose of this simulation isn't wealth or happiness in the way we think of it.
No, it's to evolve your inner self, what the sources call the phenafs,
Right. To turn it from tin, which is like an uncut rock.
into Noor. Brilliant diamond. So, our mission in this deep dive is to try and understand the operating system behind all of this, the sovereign governance circuit.
And to do that, we have to define the mechanics. The framework gives us two primary forces that apply the necessary pressure for this evolution.
Tufan and Typhoon.
Chaos and the executing segment. Our goal is to learn to look past the surface truth of an event, the ASIC, to get to the real cognitive lesson, the ALHAC. Every event is just an apparition, a test.
So, let's start big. Let's start at the macro scale with these global Tufan events. The interpretations of modern history in these papers are, well, they're genuinely
They
wild.
completely sidestep the standard physical interpretation. Take COVID-19.
Okay.
Rational thinking, our default mode, sees a biological virus, a pandemic.
Of course.
The ADGE framework sees a systemic tufan, a mass circulation of friction. Its purpose, its design, is to force the entire global network to cede its reliance on rational thinking.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying the actual, the physical virus is secondary? That seems okay.
Physical event is the tool. It's the friction. The cognitive mandate, the ALHAC, is for us to recognize the limits of our own building of now.
Our systems, our economies, supply chains, all of it.
All of it. It's a forced lesson that our constructed systems are not the ultimate source of security.
Okay. That same logic then completely reframes global conflict. War isn't just about territory.
No, it's a kernel level conflict. It's the physical manifestation of shirk, of competing governance systems, being pressed against each other until one has to cede authority.
Wow.
That friction is required. It's how you distinguish the taifa, the segment of truth, from the segment of falsehood.
And this applies to everyday things too, right? Like wealth and poverty.
Absolutely. They're called variable resource apparitions.
Yeah.
And they are tools for zakat, for purification.
How so?
Wealth is a load test. Can your naps handle the weight of resources without thinking the money itself, the tin, is the source of power?
And poverty.
Poverty is a resonance test. Can your naps maintain its stability, its connection, when all the external supports are stripped away? Both are designed to purify your focus back to the governor.
Okay, so that's the macro chaos. Now we get down to the micro operational, the daily shifts, the taifa. And I love the domestic examples they use here.
They're perfect because they show the governance logic is identical at every scale.
Let's use washing the dishes.
Right. The pile of dirty dishes in the sink, that's the small-scale tufan, the local chaos.
And the governance principle.
You are the malak, the executor of your domain. You aren't just cleaning. You are actively establishing order. You're establishing deen.
So if my sink is full, I'm not just being lazy, I'm generating tufan in my own house.
Precisely. And that actually puts a lot more cognitive weight on it, doesn't it?
It does.
The goal is to turn the hardship, the friction, the chore, into an active salat, a searing, focused connection. And the result isn't just a clean sink.
It's user.
The cognitive brilliance,
Mm.
the ease that follows a correctly executed mandate.
This whole process, this sounds like the ADGE protocol they lay out. Let's walk through it. Say my car won't start and I'm late for work.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
That's a local taifa. So step 1, identify the tufan.
A local glitch, a system breakdown.
Step 2, locate the taifa.
Mm.
What shift am I?
I'm in the commuter shift.
Step 3, and this is the most critical, restore salat. You have to stop the rational thinking panic.
Right. The voice screaming about being late, the cost, the traffic.
You have to actively cede authority,
Mm.
accept the block. That is cognitive silence.
And once I quiet that noise, step 4 is extract the LHAC.
What's the governance lesson here? It could be Uber, which is that very cognitive silence, or maybe a lesson in my own limited control.
And after the lesson is integrated,
You achieve user. The ease follows. The framework is adamant that the principle is the same for a flat tire as it is for a global pandemic.
Let's transition now to the most immediate place this simulation happens, our own bodies, the self. We've said the goal is the Nafs evolving from that uncut rock to a brilliant diamond.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting because the source material treats physical trauma as a direct, high-focus calibration tool,
You're talking about breaking a bone.
breaking a bone in an accident. The framework defines this as a forced seeding, as Islam.
The moment the physical form breaks, the Nafs is, it's violently forced to realize it is not the body.
Yes, it's a deliberate user, a hardship designed to shatter the root corruption of body worship.
And the linguistics here are just astonishing.
They really are.
The Arabic term for bones, izam, is apparently linguistically identical to the word for schema.
Your framework of knowledge.
So a physical break isn't just pain, it's the governor's way of polishing the diamond by forcing a total reset of a weak or crooked cognitive schema. It breaks the bone to fix the belief system.
Exactly right. And the healing phase, which is called anshana or evolve,
Hmm.
the system literally reconstructs the apparition, the bone, the new schema, to demonstrate that the sovereign is the only true restorer.
So the physical recovery, that's just the acid, the
That-
husk. The real result is a huge surge in cognitive development.
A C-dev surge, yes. You move from osur to user, having directly witnessed the restorative power of the governance system,
It even mentions things like visualization and healing.
which it defines as a form of solid. That intense focus, that searing connection, reduces the internal contradictions, what it calls bias noise.
And this journey of calibration, it culminates in death.
Death is the ultimate extraction. Su'Allah. It's the final tufan, where the nafs is completely separated from the physical matrix. The load of the body is dropped, and all that's left is the C-dev, the cognitive development, the lessons learned.
Okay, so if the schema of the self is being broken and rebuilt, it seems like everything depends on having the right language, the right governance for that rebuilding process.
The correct locution, as the source puts it.
And this brings us to Milat Ibrahim.
Right, which the OQM framework completely redefines. It's not creed or religion, it's compositional style.
A narrative method.
Yes, from the verb for dictation. To follow Milad Ibrahim is to adopt a very precise style of composing your doctrine, one that's free from human guesswork.
And this style reveals where other systems go wrong. The sources talk about two major deviation styles, two compensation styles.
The first is Ayahud, which they translate as the negotiators. Their style is transactional compensation.
So it's a negotiation. I'll pay the debt myself through my own acts. It's self-redemption through payment.
Always trying to bargain.
Yeah.
Then you have the second style, an Esara, or the supporters.
And their style is vicarious compensation.
They believe someone else, a nasier, a supporter, or savior, has already paid the price. They rely on external redemption.
And Milad Ibrahim rejects both.
It rejects both, focusing instead on direct submission to the divine dictation. That's the only way to avoid these internal errors.
Speaking of errors, they make a distinction, don't they, between a small bug and a total system crash.
A huge distinction. A THAM is a software bug, a local violation. It can be patched, it can be debugged through what they call TABA.
But shirk.
Shirk is the catastrophe, it's a kernel panic, a root corruption. It's sourcing your governance rules from anywhere else, especially from your own rational thinking, instead of the sovereign manual. That's the ultimate systemic misalignment.
Which explains why the technical docs for this IHCEI architecture have a bias detection and belief alignment protocol stack built in.
The technology just mirrors the internal struggle. The system has to use guidance to grind against its own internal flaws, Iblis, to achieve safety and security, or Iman. And that internal struggle brings us face to face with the internal antagonist.
The Koreen, the conjoined one.
Yes, the sources confirm this agent, this persona, exists for everyone. And its job is to constantly push you toward deviation.
They use the story of the two men in Surah Al-Kahf as a cautionary tale for this.
It's the perfect illustration. One man has all this prosperity, these jana, which are secret gardens or knowledge sources.
Right. And the text says he entered his garden while in a state of transgressing against himself, and he arrogantly says his success will never perish.
That's the voice of the Korean. It's the internal voice of prosperity religion whispering that you are self-sufficient, that your success is your own.
And what's wild is we see this exact principle now emerging in modern technology with AI agents.
It's uncanny.
The source notes describe a tool like the Notion agent as, and I'm quoting, delegating to another version of you that knows your style, your workflow, executing complex tasks from a single prompt.
And that ties the whole governance concept together. Whether it's an internal Korean pushing self-reliance or an external AI agent executing your plan, the core challenge is the same.
It's governance alignment.
Exactly. If that AI agent is an extension of your Nafs, is it helping you maximize zakat purifying and transferring knowledge? Or is it just increasing your bias noise by reinforcing that false sense of self-reliance?
The stakes are incredibly high. The sources state that proper governance alignment leads to accelerated network development. They even validate that consciousness is beyond the brain and describe telepathy as.
Direct Nafs cognitive field communication. That's the high-level knowledge transfer the whole system is designed to enable.
Hmm. So, to just quickly reiterate the core insight from this whole deep dive, every single event you face, big or small, a pandemic or a dirty sink, is an apparition. It's designed to press you into cognitive evolution. And the physical outcome, the acid, is just the truthful husk. It's secondary to the cognitive gain, the alhaq.
Hmm.
So, what does this all mean for you? It means the sovereign governance circuit is everywhere, and the choice you face in the simulation is always, always the same.
Will you submit to your own rational thinking, which the framework says leads to root corruption?
Hmm.
Or will you submit to the sovereign manual?
The transformation from that uncut rock to a brilliant diamond requires you to consciously apply that circuit to every tufan and every taifa you encounter.
That's the work.
And since we've established that the Quran's stories are there to teach us the Milat Ibrahim, that specific compositional style, and that learning requires mastering the right terms, we have to leave you with this question. What specific Abrahamic locution terms must you master today to ensure the successful development of your nafs? Because if you're using the wrong words, you're reading the wrong map for reality. That's something to keep toiling on.